want good food and lots of time with your friends, family.
Hey, it's Mark Wahlberg wishing everybody out there a Merry Christmas and Happy New Year and a safe holiday, and God bless.
Hi, I'm Mina Suvari. Happy holidays and have a wonderful New Year.
Happy holidays.
Hi, I'm Nicole Kidman, and I say Happy Holidays, Merry Christmas, and Happy New Year.
I'm Ron Howard talking to you from New York City, and I'm feeling the holiday spirit. Merry Christmas. Happy holidays.
Hey, listen, folks out there all over the world, Kermit and Fozzie here, we would love to wish you all a wonderful holiday season, a very Merry Christmas.
Happy holidays, everybody.
That's right.
Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year to you and your family from Usher.
Broadcasting from the Paddock Mall Studios, this is WOCA, Ocala, Gainesville, The Villages, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, The Source.
All right, 25 minutes after 7 o'clock. Good morning. Happy Christmas Eve morning. And good morning, Robin. How are you over there?
I'm good. Good morning, Larry. How are you?
Merry Christmas to you.
Merry Christmas.
And Doug is with us. Good morning, Doug. Merry Christmas to you.
Good morning, Larry.
All right. 48 degrees right now. It's not too bad out there. 70 the expected high today. Hey, that's pretty good, huh? 46 the expected low tonight. There's really no mention of rain today or tomorrow. Christmas Day looks like 71 is your high temperature, 49 your low tomorrow night. If I were visiting from up north, I would make all my friends jealous and go swimming on Christmas Day or Christmas Eve.
I think that's a good idea.
Yeah, do that. And guess what? Next week on New Year's Eve, you can go swimming too. It looks like 75 the high next week. So we got Florida weather all week long. Welcome to Florida.
Nice.
And it's Christmas Eve morning. We are a tradition here at WOCA on AM Ocala Live. Robin and I have done specials on Christmas Eve morning and Christmas Day morning. So this morning it'll be sort of a hybrid of what we normally do and what we do on Christmas Day, which is basically news and then music.
Yep.
But tomorrow it'll be all, well, there'll be some talking too. But tomorrow we got a lot of music planned for tomorrow.
A lot of music.
And I got a bunch planned for today, including Jerome Robinson coming in live to do some music for us. Jerome has been with a couple of bands that I've known. He's an amazing talent. He specializes in the bass guitar, but he's just unbelievably very talented and is on call for a lot of musicians around the world.
Yeah, he's amazing.
They send them his music. He then puts the bass part on right here in Ocala, and that to me that fascinates me right there. Just that part.
Yeah, I think that's amazing. Jerome is so good. Yeah, she went to the doors to the mall. They're closed.
Hoping the mall was open this early.
Well, the parking lot is getting filled with cars. So
Is
I
it
think
really?
I think the stores are opening like really early this morning.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
So if you haven't finished your Christmas shopping, remember today most stores close early.
It's 6 o'clock tonight. The mall closes.
The mall? Okay, all right.
6 p.m.
Thank you. All right, so here's the lineup. Let me tell you what we're doing. We're going to kind of have fun this morning. 7:30, of course, is news. After that, we'll open up the phone lines. We do have news. We'll share it, share some opinions, drink some eggnog, whatever. Just have fun. Galen Unold will be on with us at 8:05. Again, we're going to have fun with Galen. It's a day before a holiday. It is a holiday as far as I'm concerned. Just going to have some fun. News Bites at 8:35. We'll keep that true to form, so we will read the news. Although I must tell you, there are at least 5 Christmas stories in the news that are good news Christmas stories. So
excellent.
So that's always fun. Bern Pareso will brighten the studio. She's as delightful and charming a lady as you're ever going to meet. She comes in to us to talk to us about our health. So I think that's probably a New Year's resolution, is to do things to stay healthier. Dr. Dan Edmonds is coming on at 9:35. He's got some talking he wants to do. If you are facing the fear that your alcoholism might take a step backward because you're going to be going to parties with this alcohol and you just know yourself and he's got some help for you. The meaning and art of recovery. So it's going to be an important topic, especially this time of year when if alcohol is a struggle for you. A little bit of help from a professional might go a long way. And then the rest of the morning, pretty much music. We've got recorded music. Jerome Robinson, as I mentioned, coming in to do some music and talk about his music. Midday with Joe. Joe Martone will be on with us talking about music and Christmas and all the fun things that we always do. And then at 12:05, a special thing, EAS test. That's the
right.
Emergency Alert System test.
It's coming up.
We always revel in the EAS test.
Yep. Can't wait for it. It's the highlight of my day.
So there we go. That's our morning. And I've got some rapping to do. I'm going to be a rap artist today afternoon. Now, you won't hear me doing this, but I'm going to do it in my office with some Scotch tape and wrapping paper.
Nice.
I will be a rap artist.
I bet you'll be amazing.
Can you rap for us right now?
I can rap for you right now. Let's wrap up this whole thing, and we'll be right back. This is The Source, WOCA Ocala.
Broadcasting from the Paddock Mall Studios, this is WOCA, Ocala, Gainesville, The Villages, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, The Source.
Fox News, I'm Pam Cusick. He doesn't agree with it, but Defense Secretary Jim Mattis has signed orders to pull all American troops out of Syria. The move comes as President Trump speeds up Mattis's exit from the administration.
Sources tell Fox News that this early departure was not Mattis's idea. Instead, they say President Trump became annoyed with the coverage Mattis was receiving.
Fox's Ellison Barber, the president appointing Deputy Defense Chief Patrick Shanahan as the acting secretary. Day 3 of the partial government shutdown.
It's very possible that this shutdown will go beyond the 28th and into the new Congress.
Incoming acting White House Chief of Staff Mick Mulvaney on Fox News Sunday, the battle remains over the border wall.
The American people want us to spend money in a smart way. $5 billion is a lot of money.
Senate Democrat Jeff Merkley on ABC's This Week. This is Fox News.
The natural habitat of a creepy doll is a horror movie. It can't help being creepy. It's that small, fixed smile and those never-closing eyes, always watching you, plotting, which you're imagining. It's mindless. But when the creepy doll hears that Geico not only saves people money, but also gives them easy access to emergency roadside service through an award-winning app, it knows you should switch. Because yes, switching to Geico is a no-brainer. The only question is, how did the creepy doll move from the bedroom to the hallway? I would get out of the house.
Pros in the know start with Lowe's, because at Lowe's, pros save big on bulk purchases of supplies and materials they use most, like 30% off select in-stock fiberglass insulation. While you're at it, you can also get up to 15% off select in-stock drywall accessories, and backer board when you buy in bulk. And our dedicated pro team is here to help you get it all loaded up and get you back on the job. So, pro, now that you know, start with Lowe's. Minimum purchase required. Selection varies by location. U.S. only.
Folks, if you've never been inside that old-timey greenhouse at Bob Wine's Camellia Gardens, then now is the time. That's because now till Christmas, everything inside this wonderful place is half off. Yes, everything is reduced 50%, including pottery and vases, bird baths, fountains, all kinds of yard art, chimera, wind chimes, and a huge selection of indoor foliage too. Now let me repeat, it's all half off right now till Christmas. And yes, outside, all over their 5-acre garden, all plants, flowers, and trees, also half price for this once-a-year event right now at Bob Wine's. In short, Bob Wine's is having an unbelievable half-price sale on Christmas gifts right now. Don't miss it. Bob's open daily till 4 on Southeast 38th Street, Ocala, just off Lake Weir Avenue. Same blooming Christmas place since 1952.
Here is your 1-minute news brief. A 72-year-old woman was killed and her 74-year-old friend was seriously injured after a hit-and-run accident on Northeast 25th Avenue in Ocala Saturday night. After 4 attempts at launching the Falcon 9 rocket from Florida's Space Coast, the 5th attempt was a success yesterday morning. A 64-year-old student pilot is dead after crashing the plane he was training in Lakeland. A 21-year-old Florida woman is being charged with manslaughter after police say she accidentally shot a teenager riding in her car. car in St. Petersburg. A cruise ship has rescued 2 Costa Rican fishermen who had been stranded at sea for 3 weeks. France and Florida have signed a declaration of intent to preserve a 16th century shipwreck off the state's coast. A live webcam showed a bald eaglet in Florida pecking its way out of its egg to the delight of thousands of viewers. And it's Christmas Eve, and NORAD is once again tracking Santa Claus. Check it out at noradsanta.org. And that is your news brief from The Source.
On this Monday, sunshine mixing with some clouds. A beautiful day with a high of 66 to 70. Monday night should be mainly clear. Lows ranging from the upper 40s in the coolest inland spots to 55 along the coast. Tuesday, Christmas Day, will be quite nice with sunshine and some clouds and a high between 70 and 74. And for Wednesday, clouds and limited sun. There might even be a shower in spots. The high 73 to 77. From the Florida Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Joe Lundberg.
I'm Jennifer McCullough, the Executive Director of Palm Garden. During this holiday season, I will be ensuring every department provides the very best of care.
And I'm Jan, and I will be fluffing pillows for every new guest coming in to stay with us over the holidays.
I'm Crystal, and I'll partner with therapy and nursing to ensure all the needs of our guests are met the Palm Garden way.
We wish you all a very Merry Christmas as we celebrate the Savior's birth.
Merry Christmas from Palm Garden.
Are you ready for all the festivities? It's not too late to have Honey Baked Ham come to your rescue.
They're ready and able to help with everything to complete your holiday feast.
Or maybe you're attending a party and you want to take a really special dessert.
Honey Baked Ham is the answer. Located at 2709 Southwest 27th Avenue behind Best Buy, or call 352-861-0011.
I'll have one of those, 2 of those. Ho, ho, ho. Merry Christmas.
This year at Wild Adventures Theme Park, Christmas is bigger and brighter with the all-new Snowville for kids, family photos with Santa, a 5-story animated Christmas tree, and more than 1 million lights throughout the park. All kids 3 to 5 get in free with a pre-K Kids Season Pass, and 2019 Season Passes are on sale now. Make your Christmas bigger and brighter. Get your tickets and 2019 Season Passes now at wildadventures.com.
All right, thank you. 25 minutes before 8 o'clock. Beautiful looking morning. If you're visiting from someplace else, welcome to Ocala. Welcome to Florida. You got a perfect week to be here. My gosh, if you came down from someplace colder than we normally are, we have our days of cold, but you're not going to see them this week. Looks like a beautiful week. So, all right, the phone lines are open. Hey, I have a job opportunity to tell you about before I do anything else. If you are really upset with yourself because this Christmas you just didn't have the money, and a job would help you go a long way, there are some job openings up at Freddy's. Freddy's is the frozen custard steak burger place on 200. They have some job openings. They have some day shifts. Actually, all the shifts are day shifts, so you know that. They have cashier positions, a cook position, a drive-through attendant, and a lobby attendant. The qualifications are you must be 18 years old or older. You must have a couple of forms of ID, and let's see, your social security card, your birth certificate, a valid driver's license are all acceptable. If you have a bank account and will want direct deposit of your paycheck, bring that information with you and dress accordingly. But anyway, so an opportunity to get a little bit of work. I know it's entry-level type of work, I know, but it's better than nothing, right?
Exactly.
So there you go.
Exactly, better than nothing. It shows you want to work, and you work your way up.
What are the mall hours today? Do you know?
I don't know the beginning, but I know they end at 6 p.m.
But they must be opening early because there
are a lot of cars in the parking lot. A lot of workers are coming in there.
Yeah. All right, let's go to the phones. And good morning. You're on the air.
Yes, good morning. Merry Christmas.
Thank you, Hugh.
The Silver Springs Wild Waters is under the wrecking ball. They've got some heavy equipment over there, and they're tearing it down.
They heard you, Hugh. They said, we got to take this down for Hugh.
Yeah, they did.
Well, I called several times up to Tallahassee there. Never talked to anybody important, but a lot of people that were supposed to give the message to people that were important about what are they going to do with that eyesore down here. It's over 3 years sitting there, and it looked like heck, and all of a sudden I drove by the other day, and boy, there those bulldozers and the steam shovel and everything they're tearing it apart.
Yeah, they're taking it down. So, yep, they heard you. And the only thing I'm good.
I just hope they make something nice out of that area there. It's kind of a show spot, being on the roads, important, Baseline and Silver Springs Boulevard.
Yeah.
So we'll see what happens there. It'll be kind of interesting to see what it'll be.
I heard they're opening up a hot dog stand, so I think they're doing.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, pretty sure.
I hope it's Nathan's.
Yeah, no, I don't think it is. I think it's Ballpark. I think it's a Ballpark hot dog stand.
Oh, a baseball park.
A baseball park.
Well, I still say it's a shame that they closed the water park down, because whenever I went over there, when we had company with the younger kids and that, we'd go over, and the place was always crowded, and everybody was having such a great time, and it's just it's a shame that now you have to travel to Orlando or wherever if you want to go to a water park.
That's right. No, the mistake they made was they stopped advertising on radio. As soon as, if you looked at the numbers, as soon as they stopped doing that, that's when people stopped going up. I'm not making that up. That's the truth.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you.
Well, anyways, it's a piece of history that's gone.
That's
so
right.
Have a great day today. Thank you.
Hey, Merry Christmas. Thank you. The only thing I would disagree with you on is he spoke to people who weren't important. I think the people he spoke to were very important.
Yeah.
Maybe they didn't have jobs that sounded important, but shame on the people who are considered important for not talking to people who are also not important.
Exactly.
This is my biggest grief, my biggest gripe, my biggest pet peeve with elected officials is they think they're actually important.
That's
they
right.
actually believe that they are VIPs. They believe they're important. Let me tell you something. In God's eyes, this is a day we celebrate the love of God, correct? Today and tomorrow?
That's correct.
We celebrate it. So let me tell you something. In his eyes, there's nobody more important than anybody else.
Everybody's equal.
And I'm not. I mean, I understand what Hugh's saying. I'm not trying to pick on Hugh. I'm just saying that my biggest gripe with our elected officials is they don't consider themselves one of the people. This is what we're supposed to be, we the people.
Exactly.
And P.S., I'm wrong in some cases. I have met some. So I don't want to say it's across the board. I'm not saying every single elected official, but I have met some who will tell you what time it is as they're walking down the steps of Congress.
That's right.
Because the rest of them won't tell you what time of day it is.
Exactly.
All right, it's Christmas. Let's be so. All right, we got some news. Time of year for when sad news hits, you always want to. I don't know what you want to do. I just don't like sad news. Period. Doesn't matter what day of the year it is. Anyway, a 72-year-old woman is no longer with us. She and her 74-year-old friend were crossing 25th Avenue near Northeast 38th Street. And a hit-and-run driver hit both of them. The 72-year-old woman is no longer with us. Her name is Christine Sullivan. They don't know who the hit-and-run driver was or is. If you know anything, the Highway Patrol, the Crime Stoppers, the police, they all want to hear from you. I don't know that there's a reward, but just turn that person and don't let this go unsolved. The 74-year-old is Eileen Tillery. She's in the hospital with serious injuries. But a driver hits two women and doesn't stop.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh my gosh, two human beings.
Exactly. And that's what happened on East State Road 42. Hit and run driver took off. Horrible. Horrible, horrible.
So prayers for the Sullivan family and the Tillery family.
Yeah.
The Falcon 9 rocket went up yesterday. It was the 5th try. It was successful. It's delivering a satellite that will help with GPS so that your GPS will be more accurate, according to this news report here. It'll now show you very closely to where you really are.
Nice.
64-year-old student pilot was practicing touch-and-go landings. This is the part of the learning experience for a pilot to be. Where the plane is brought down to the runway and then take off right away after it touches down. It's called touch and go. One of those efforts ended tragically. It crashed and burned. And 64-year-old pilot or student pilot is now dead. That was in the city of Lakeland, by the way.
Gosh. Was he the only one in the plane, or was the instructor there?
I don't know. Dan might know. I don't even know how you do that. How is that lesson done? It didn't mention anybody else's name, so maybe he was alone.
Oh, okay, yeah. That could have been part of his solo flight or something.
A 21-year-old Florida woman is charged with manslaughter. She was driving and somehow her pistol went off and shot a 17-year-old girl in the back. And she died. The 17-year-old is no longer with us. This was in Pinellas County. So prayers for them. St. Petersburg, if you don't know Pinellas County.
Yeah, should never ever have a gun unsecure.
Two Costa Rican fishermen were out fishing, and they were doing something with their nets. They were soaking their nets. That's what it says here. And they ran out of gas. They fell asleep.
Of course they did.
And they drifted in the Royal Caribbean ship called, I'll tell you the name of the ship, called the Empress of the Seas cruise ship. Had to take a different route because of some stormy weather, and saved these two fishermen, rescued them. The nation of France and the state of Florida have signed a declaration of intent. Do you know why, Robin?
No, I have no clue.
In 1565, there was a hurricane. And it caused a ship to sink off the coast of Cape Canaveral, and it's been underwater all this time. Le Trinite was the name of the ship. Le Trinite.
And what year was it?
1565.
Okay.
It's been underwater all this time. The salvage guys who look for salvageable stuff found it. They were pulling stuff out, and it turns out that the nation of France said that stuff belongs to us, and a judge ruled in the favor of France. So I guess I don't keep that stuff. But anyway, so it'll be on display in Florida. So the agreement is it belongs to France, but it'll be on display in Florida.
Nice.
And the guys who actually did the work to get it, they're left empty-handed.
Yeah, I bet they are. Well, it's government stuff, so they're always left empty-handed.
That's our stuff. Wait a minute. 1565, that's mine.
Sure. They could have given them a finder's fee or something. Salvage fee.
A bald eagle was born over the weekend, and that is not news because bald eagles are born all the time. The reason this one is in the news is because there was a camera aimed at the egg.
Nice.
And 226,000 people were logged in and watched the baby eagle peck its way out of the shell.
Oh, how amazing.
Watching an eagle being born, I guess, was pretty captivating entertainment. The daddy bird, by the way, didn't know that this happens in birds, but the daddy bird knew that the baby bird was about to be born, and he came back with some food for the mama to feed to the baby.
Nice.
So the mama stays there with the baby. Daddy goes out and gets the food, brings home the bacon, and the baby eats it.
See that?
There you go.
Teamwork. Good parenting.
By the way, there's a second egg in the nest if you want to keep watching it. You have to go to the Southwest Florida Eagle Cam. That's what it is.
Nice.
Southwest Florida Eagle Cam. Santa Claus is on his sled tonight, heading all around the world, and NORAD wants you to know that they're on the case. They've been on the case for 63 years tracking Santa's sleigh ride. If you want to do this with the kids, you no longer have to tune into radio stations to do it for you. That was my job for many years.
Many years you did that.
Oh, my gosh. Many years I did the Santa tracking gig. Yeah.
You did.
Oh, yeah, you did.
It was always fun, too.
Yeah, it was great fun.
And we really used NORAD, too, by the way. It was a real feed from the North American Aerospace Defense Command.
Yeah.
Anyway, these days you can do it on the Internet, so that frees me up to go to church with you, Robin.
Nice. There you are.
The Internet address is noradsanta.org. noradsanta.org. If you want to check it out, you can do that.
Nice.
You can do it on your phone, right?
Yeah, that's pretty cool. It's pretty amazing.
What else do we have this morning? If you still have Christmas gifts to buy, you're late but not alone. According to the National Retail Federation's December survey, more than 7% of Americans will finish holiday shopping on Christmas Eve day. That's today, kids. Catering to true procrastinators, the majority of stores and malls across the nation are opening early today.
Yep. You want me to go look?
Don't know what time it's opening
All right,
here.
let me go
Oh,
look.
Robin's going to go look.
I'll go look.
Okay, Robin will be right back. Robin is going to go look at the door and see what time they're opening today.
Okay.
But I know they're closing early. I think she said they're closing at 6 today, right?
Yes.
All right.
You know, I saw a North Star.
Did you?
Yes.
Are you sure?
Positive.
This morning?
This morning where we left,
Are you sure it was the North Star?
it was so bright,
Right?
it was shaped just like a cross.
Okay. Well, that sounds pretty good. But you sure it wasn't Venus? I mean, could have been.
Venus
Yeah, no?
is, no. Venus is bright red,
Okay.
and it's very hot planet. I was born underneath it.
Oh, you were born under Venus? I had no idea. Okay.
8 a.m.
8 a.m. Okay, the mall
8 a.m.
opens in 10 minutes, kids.
Yep, and ends at 6 p.m. this evening.
Good morning. You're on the air.
Yeah, good morning, good morning. Merry Christmas Eve to everybody.
Hey, thank you, Jim.
Yep, that's all I have to say.
Okay. Thank you, Jim. Hope you're feeling well.
Yeah, I hope you feel better.
Yeah. By the way, the if you're coming to the mall, don't pass over Sears. I know it's very empty, but there are some sales in there that are unbelievable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, good stuff.
Yeah, I think Doug's in the market for a curtain rod
Good
or something.
stuff. Oh, there you go.
So go see if they have any curtain rods left
morning.
over. President Trump last week signed an executive order declaring that all executive departments and agencies of the federal government shall be closed today, continuing a loosely followed tradition when Christmas falls on a Tuesday. That was before a partial government shutdown unfolded Saturday, the third shutdown this year, with 9 federal departments and several smaller agencies putting more than 380,000 federal workers on furlough. But that number does not include any congressmen.
Of course.
Just thought I'd put that out there. Just
There
thought
you
I'd throw
go.
my 2 cents into that one.
There you go. So are they still in session today?
The number of days that the government has been closed under President Trump, by the way, is drastically less than the number of days that the government was shut under previous presidents. Just so you know.
Yeah, I think it's great. Shouldn't have a government shutdown.
Let's see. The stock market is down nearly 10%. Hopes are fading for the late year rally that normally delivers the gift of gains, normally the 7-day stretch that spans the final 5 days of trading of the year. And the first 2 trading sessions of the new year is bullish for the stock market. This year's Santa clock starts ticking today
I love that word, bullish.
and ends January 3rd. So there you go.
Yeah, I love that word, bullish.
The rundown Oakland Coliseum with its infield dirt for early season games, substandard locker rooms, and a lack of all the amenities prevalent in newer and more expensive NFL stadiums might be hosting its final NFL game today or tonight. When Oakland hosts the Denver Broncos, the Raiders are set to move to Las Vegas in 2020, where they will play in a new $1.8 billion, 65,000-seat stadium that will make the Coliseum look like a relic.
Wow, isn't that something?
I wonder when the Coliseum in Rome closed, was there really another one that opened up?
Yeah.
Somebody's coming to the door. Neither rain nor snow nor hail nor sleet will keep Santa out of the skies on Christmas Eve. I have this NORAD story elsewhere in the news, but here it is again. NORAD's Santa Tracker will follow the jolly old man's journey every reindeer step of the way. And I mentioned to you the website for that. Let me find that again. I think it was NORADSanta.com, right? .org. NORADSanta.org if you're interested in doing that one. Japan's population decline continued this year with fewer than 1 million babies for the third consecutive year. Live births of Japanese nationals in Japan were estimated at 921,000, the lowest annual figure since records began in 1899, according to a health ministry survey released this morning. The most deaths in any year since the end of World War II led to a record net population decline of 448,000 people, 54,000 more than in 2017. Japan is known as a super-aged nation. That means more than 20% of its population is older than 65. The country's total population stands at 124 million this year, but by the year 2065, it is expected to have dropped to about 88 million. Isn't that interesting? Japanese Prime Minister Shinzo Abe is working to stop the population from dropping below 100 million by the year 2060. So there you go. The Supreme Court has issued a temporary administrative stay of contempt sanctions against an unnamed foreign government-owned company fighting a subpoena in a mysterious case believed to be tied to Special Counsel Robert Mueller's Russia probe. The company has so far refused to comply with a grand jury subpoena issued in federal court in Washington. According to the Washington Examiner, the challenge reached the Supreme Court after the U.S. Court of Appeals for the District of Columbia Circuit last week rejected the company's appeal to quash the grand jury subpoena to turn over records. The Supreme Court's stay on the contempt order includes putting a hold on a $5,000 a week fine against the company, which for some reason is a mystery. Don't know about that one. Supreme Court Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg is up and working as she recuperates from cancer surgery. You might have heard that was a successful operation. A spokeswoman for the court also says that Ginsburg remained in New York at Memorial Sloan Kettering Cancer Center yesterday. No information has been released on when Ginsburg might return home. She underwent surgery Friday to remove 2 malignant growths in her left lung. Doctors say there is no evidence of any remaining disease. She is 85 years old, by the way. Last month, she cracked 3 ribs in a fall at the court. So she's been treated for cancer 2 other times, by the way, also. An 8-year-old boy pulled in $22 million this year by posting videos of himself and his family.
Oh, wow.
That's right. You could be doing this, Doug. A 21-year-old, best known for his pranks and reaction videos, pocketed $21.5 million this year. So you hear that? An 8-year-old boy makes $22 million. A 21-year-old makes $21.5 million. 5 men from Texas made $20 million with their sports-focused channel featuring hundreds of trick shots and stunts. Good morning. And all of these have in common the money comes from YouTube. The YouTube top 10 earners made $180.5 million. Wow.
Nice.
Logan Paul, a 23-year-old who first gained fame on Vine, uploads short films and comedy sketches on his YouTube site called The Official Logan Paul. He made $14.5 million this year. A 29-year-old from Sweden who calls himself PewDiePie is known for his comedic formatted shows. He has made a $15.5 million paycheck this year.
That is amazing. Astronomical numbers.
Jacksepticeye, an Irish 28-year-old whose real name is Sean William McLaughlin, posts gameplay videos and sketch comedy. He made $16 million this year on YouTube.
Gosh,
the list goes on and on and on. Ryan, who is 8 years old, had 26 billion views on his channel. He made $22 million. He reviews toys.
Nice.
Oh, my gosh.
Isn't that something?
Wow. Good morning. You're on the air.
That is pretty cool.
Hey, good morning, Larry and Robin. It's Mark, the proud Democrat, to say still Merry Christmas, no war on Christmas. But seriously, I mean, that was so manufactured by the right. But in any case, in regards to the story about the Mueller investigation, there are 2 schools of thought on who that could be. One is Deutsche Bank, and the other one is Bank of Cyprus, Larry. And Bank of Cyprus is where the Russian mafia rushed their money out of the country when the Americans, that's us, by a majority of about all of Congress and all of the Senate, imposed sanctions on the Russians during what was called the Magnitsky Act. And so the people that run Russia are all in the oil business at the highest levels. And their personal wealth they ran to Bank of Cyprus. And can either of you guys tell me who ran that? What popular American ran that bank?
I'm not really sure. I'm not really sure I know, but go ahead and tell us if you want. Mark? Where did you hang up?
I don't know.
Mark, you there? Huh.
I don't know. He was asking a question. And
I know.
I said no clue. I mean, and you invited him to tell us who
Mark,
it was.
Hold on. Mark, you there?
Maybe he dropped off. Maybe he's in a dead zone.
Something happened. I don't Yeah, I know the presidents have been doing business with Russia for a long time. All of them have been. So
Yeah.
apparently that's news when you don't like the president. If it's the president you do like, you're okay with the Russian connections.
Right.
Let's see. Communities are forced into elaborate security measures to combat a rise in nativity scene thefts because, as one pastor told the New York Times, people aren't living the gospel.
Gosh.
Let's see. According to, let's see, who wrote this one here? Doesn't say. Never mind. Oh, here it is. Minnesota Reverend Anthony Craig says, quote, such major larceny in glaring violation of the Eighth Commandment is also part of a sad national trend. This year, thieves have raided nativity scenes in Tennessee, West Virginia, Minnesota, and plenty of other places, and made off with Jesus figurines and sometimes Mary and a donkey, too.
Gosh. Just too sad.
All right. Looks like we're up against the break. Let's take that break, and we'll be right back. I think I have some music here somewhere to play. Yes, I do. I have some Christmas music to play, Doug. You know?
Okay.
That's how I do it. I try to do it the best I can, Doug.
I know you. Do.
It's not cold outside, but here we go. We'll be right back.
On the first day of Christmas, my true love gave to me a partridge in a pear tree. On the second day of Christmas, my true love gave to me.
Broadcasting from the Paddock Mall Studios, this is WOCA, Ocala.
Fox News, I'm Pam Puso. President Trump's demands for billions of dollars for a border wall falling on deaf ears among Democrats.
Use technology, use sensors, use drones, use more personnel. Use it in a way that's effective.
Congressman David Cicilline of Rhode Island.
I think the sticking point is really that Nancy Pelosi is driving most of this negotiation. You would think it would be Chuck Schumer.
House Republican Mark Meadows of North Carolina, both men speaking with Fox's Maria Bartiromo. The partial government shutdown, now 3 days old, could stretch into the new Congress. A desperate search for tsunami survivors in Indonesia.
Displaced Indonesians are in emergency.